And a guy that loves coming on the program now joins us. His name is Bronco Mendenhall, the head coach of BYU football. Welcome.
Thanks. And I do love coming on the program. I noticed something just in the intro that Studio B, is that below Studio C? That's a step below, isn't it?
It's a step
I think
below?
It's on the same plane.
It's on the same plane. It's in the same building, but Studio B in inverse order is below Studio
this
C.
Is the
just
only,
on behalf of the way I think most people view it.
This is the only permanent set in all these studios, Bronco. Because we do 260 shows a year.
Is it because it's like in a closet and so they don't need this space? Is that why?
Bronco's in
comes
prime.
out firing.
He's
Go
in
fast,
prime
go
form
hard.
today. It's media day. Hey, it's been a year. It's been a year since we got our start, Bronco, and you officially dubbed me the green room snack guy.
I remember you showing up at my doorstep in a cardboard box, shivering and cold, and I brought you in, got you all warmed up, and kind of launched your career.
And for that, we have come prepared. We have the jalapeno potato chips for Bronco. We want an epic interview.
That yields a good interview.
So this, by the way, is not the smaller bag. This is a full-size bag, which is now the standard for 2014. And so I appreciate starting on the right foot. That's good. In fact, can I put this just a minute?
Okay.
You want to put it on the set somewhere here? In front of my face or something? What the heck, man?
Yeah. Can you stand up while you interview? That looks good right there.
I would rather not, but
I like
yeah.
that.
I
It's
guess
covering
we can
your mic flag, Jerem. Okay.
if we get a
We're
great
going
interview,
with
it's worth it, I guess.
There's no control.
If
Once
you
we
deliver,
get together.
if you deliver, there is a back end reward here too.
A back-end
Look at you
reward.
Snickers bar.
teasing Bronco with more.
Hey,
Since when do you have control? You've changed within a year's time. You know, there's a cycle that, at least in what I believe, that people sometimes when they get behind a microphone or a prestigious position, they start acting in a different way.
you
You've
feel
changed.
like I act different?
You're adding back end.
Okay.
You're adding back end incentive. Since when is that? When did that happen? You've changed.
We're
Humility
at a year
has
mark.
gone. Humility has gone from you, hasn't it? It's vanished in one short year.
I have an
I'm
ego
throwing you
now.
back on the street. Next, you're going back out.
Please help me, Bronco. Okay, so let's get to the important stuff. I heard from somebody that you ran a marathon. What's that all about?
Half or
I saw the sign and just said, okay, yeah. The Utah Valley. I mean, I live
the full marathon.
The full marathon, 26.2, which is a long way, by the way,
Yeah.
for having done it. 26 is a long way.
The original dude died right after that did that.
Yeah. We're tougher now.
26 miles.
When did you do this?
26.2,
0.2,
actually.
Yeah,
yeah.
0.2.
Utah Valley Marathon. That was 2 weeks ago.
So you had trained this summer for this kind of thing?
Uh-huh.
Now the
How'd
Cougar.
you
Gotta
do?
have something to do.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, I finished, which was good. And then the first goal was just to be under 4 hours in my starting point, which was 3:53. So there are many that are faster, but it was a solid start.
Yeah, that's good.
Congratulations on finishing. It just so happened to be the Cougar Challenge this last Friday too, which
Yeah,
is
that
like
was 6 days later.
what we've dubbed the quadrathlon.
Yeah.
This crazy intense. I don't know what you want to call it other than the Cougar Challenge.
Yeah.
But how did you feel your guys performed in that?
It was awesome. So most players ever. We had 75 players participated, 15 coaches or staff members. We had 90 guys at the top of the mountain. After a mile swim and every stadium stair, and then 3 bike legs and a run to Arrowhead Summit, the top of Sundance. So it was killer. It was great.
Paula Sike, Bronson Kafusi, and Sky Pove win it.
They do. It was a dream team.
What did they do that was better than everybody else?
Well, number one, they're more athletic than us older types. But, man, those are maybe the three players that try hardest on our team. So Coach Papinga is the one that organized the teams, and there was a late bailout with a family matter. So Coach Papinga shifted the teams a little bit, and they ended up together, and it wasn't close. They dominated.
Awesome.
BYU head football coach Bronco Mendenhall with us on Media Day on a special 2-hour edition of BYU Sports
Am
Nation.
I on with you 2 hours?
You're not on with us
Okay,
for
good.
2 hours.
If you would
Okay, I feel
like.
better now. No, I was just checking.
Wow, it's great to have you, Coach.
We talked about this a second ago. You mentioned during the break we have a lot more stuff up here than the last time you were on. Would you like to bring something of yours that we can put on here?
I kind of see it as an altar of sorts. So
a sports altar.
A sports
without
altar.
being sacrilegious.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
So I think that rather than back end kind of thing, I think next time I'll come, I'll deliver something to add.
What kind of thing might you deliver?
Oh, it's better if it's a surprise.
Okay, that means you don't know right now.
No, it means that I know exactly, and it will be targeted to where anytime someone sees it, they'll know exactly what I think of this show. No, that's not a bad thing.
Oh,
See,
okay.
you both went to a place there that was like you were worried, and
I was worried.
It's our relationship. We have some work to do, don't we?
Yes. Well, fittingly, with the Cougar Challenge, we decided to make our own BYU Sports Nation Challenge.
Nice.
Which involved eating some J-Dogs, some hot dogs. And
is that how it started? That
That's
was
how
the
it
first
started.
leg?
Well, that was Friday. We take it easy.
watching every game from the 2013 season with 5-minute soda breaks in between.
Same day?
Same day. Okay. And then playing 18 holes of golf with a cart, but we still have to carry our own bags to and from the golf cart.
Man, how do you keep up with that pace?
Jerem said he didn't want to sweat.
Did you come into work the next day?
Well, here's how it works, Bronco. The whole, Taysom Hill gets a call from Jordan Leslie or something, hey, I want to throw. Yeah. That happens with the two of us. Like, hey, you want to practice play-by-play, or hey, you want to practice BYU Sports Nation. We have off-season conditioning.
Yeah.
You need to do it.
My respect for both of you just went way up.
I'm glad you had any respect at all.
I want you to have the Snickers right now.
Oh, look at him. You said this was the end.
No.
This is like an early offer. You know, when you offer a scholarship or something
like
early,
you're a sophomore.
Yeah, you run the risk of the performance decreasing.
I'm showing faith in you.
I appreciate that.
I'm showing some faith in Bronco
right
Mendenhall.
I'm proud of that. It's like a helmet. That's like a helmet sticker. I like that.
By the way, isn't it nice now that we're 67 days away from the season opener at Connecticut to focus solely on what happens on the football field?
We have a really good team. I usually can tell in the summertime, just by kind of the feeling around the building, not having been able to supervise workouts before this year, but now that we've been able to watch them. Not only is our current team working hard, but the transfers coming in. Man, it's been fun to see just how willing they are to become part of our team, how hard they're trying, and we've added talent and depth and
huge
competition.
Credit goes to Jeff Martson too, who's going out and finding those transfer guys, and it's a team effort, obviously.
So this is now year 2 that we've had a player personnel director. So for instance, Alabama has 17 people in their player personnel department.
How many does BYU have?
We started with one, which is a starting point, and now we have 2 others, intern graduate assistants.
Awesome.
So ours is 3. But just having someone that owns personnel, meaning 24/7, all year round, is working, thinking, and directing all their efforts toward who plays at BYU and why, has made a huge difference for us. And so it's a great start to what needs to happen here.
And July 19th, we're going to own them in a golf tournament, by the way.
That's what I heard.
It's 3-on-3.
In fact, they came to me, our player personnel department came and said they've been challenged. And so they asked for an early scouting report because they thought, since we have some relationship, that I had intel, and I told them to take the challenge right now. So is that on ESPN, by the way? Is someone
We're hearing that it will be broadcast.
It's on Watch ESPN.
On Watch ESPN.
Great.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
These off-season workouts, now you can monitor them. Will you explain what you can do now?
Yeah, the period just ended, but all that means is we basically could be involved exactly like our off-season program. So before we couldn't attend, couldn't even have workout attendance reported to us, or any weight or conditioning goals or current performances. None of that we could even hear. And so now not only can we have things reported to us, but we can actually be there and encourage the players and help them. There's also 2 hours of film work if you take that away from the lifting. So there's 8 hours a week we can have them, 2 of which can be film time if you'd like to do that in place of the conditioning. And so our staff could be with our team as long as they're enrolled in spring semester. So our players that weren't enrolled in spring, we couldn't watch them. There's a different lifting time or conditioning time for them.
How many newcomers were involved in that? Because generally they come for the summer, right?
Yeah.
Like now, starting today.
And so the summer bridge players are just arriving. So those are most of our new players. However, Jordan Leslie, the transfer from UTEP, he has been here the entire time and has really, really trained hard.
You've had your fair share of national media exposure this summer. In fact, I can't remember. Have you noticed?
Wait, what?
How have you been able to manage the increased exposure? And was that something that you were aiming for by making statements like you want to join the Big 12? Did you want to garner more of this national media attention?
I wasn't interested in garnering media attention. I was interested in remaining a topic of conversation in the ever-changing landscape of college football.
You have done that.
And that's mission accomplished then, because it's easy for conferences and commissioners to look after their own. It's easy for a coach in a conference to look after and make sure he's relevant. As an independent, who does that? And so there was an opportunity in talking with the University of, or in in the Austin Statesman Journal, and that dialogue was really in relation to playing Texas.
Yeah.
However, they're in a conference, and so it made a lot of sense to me to say, why not? It's a Big 12 league. We've already played Oklahoma and Texas. The nature of how they play the game is very similar to BYU, but the values of those teams and where they're from, kind of the heartland type of, it makes a lot of sense. And so as I think Independence is giving us great exposure, we are gaining more significant strength of schedule and viewership. That, by the way, to me isn't the end goal. The end goal is to be in a position and have complete access to the very highest level of college football. And so it seemed like someone needed to say it, and that's why I did.
Do you love that BYU's been discussed as much as it has been this summer?
It's absolutely essential. And so the intent wasn't just to have comments made. It was to then look realistically at why not the Big 12, and then actually see what fans and others thought
so
about it.
So you create the court of public opinion to a degree?
There you go. Okay. And so it wasn't coordinated. No one told me to. And certainly the president of the university and the AD didn't say do this. It was just something as the football coach I thought was relevant and needed to be done, so I did that. Already knowing that Independence is moving us forward. We are playing and having more and more people watch us on the biggest stages, so we are trending the correct direction. I'm just not satisfied and want to keep going.
Bronco Mendenhall, the head football coach of BYU on BYU Sports Nation. You set the precedent at double-digit wins, top 25 finishes, kind of the benchmark, how you measure what your team has done. And then I liked what you said in the state of the program just an hour ago here on BYU TV, and that is essentially winning football games will handle all of this outside national discussion.
It's right. And so when you consider the way that the media works now, and sports media especially, the offseason is actually another season. And if you're not in that discussion, you're not in that discussion. And so we just finished the offseason season.
I'd say you're ranked in the top 10.
Thank you. And so what really matters now is just to be relevant, have enough eyes on us and enough interest in us to now actually win football games with enough of the right people paying attention. And so the stage is set. My job now is to help our team win. And so I like what we've done. I like where we stand. I like how we're positioned. Now we need to play well.
And the face of the program has become, and it always will be, the quarterback,
Right.
Taysom Hill. A lot of preseason hype with him. How much do you relish and savor that, which goes into what you just said, which is, okay, now let's pay that off into winning, which will yield other more exposure?
Without a quarterback that is returning or that's extremely capable, it makes it much more difficult. So no matter what we did in the offseason to garner attention, then if you don't have a player at that spot that's capable of leading your team, you've almost set yourself up for a letdown. But when you have a quarterback like Taysom that is so skilled, such a great leader, such a good person, and that the team follows, man, it seems like it lines up really well. And so I don't think we could be positioned any better offensively or defensively or schedule-wise with the offseason we just had to say, man, could it be magical? Yeah, it could. We still have to play great football. We still have to stay healthy. I've still got to coach well. Our players have to play well. But the way it's lining up right now, there's a lot of reason for optimism.
You have a question for Bronco Mendenhall, the head coach, coming in on Twitter. I know you're a big Twitter fan now. At NW10knee. How much of a fire is lit underneath the players for this up-and-coming year? What is the team doing to hopefully exceed expectations?
I would say there's a chip on the team's shoulder. As the ever-changing landscape is happening, what they've been told and what we're positioning is we have to fight for everything we're going to get. We have enough eyes on us now. We have a strong enough schedule now. All that means is that the fight has to be won, and no one is going to give them anything. And so they're taking it as a challenge, that they're looking for inclusion. They're looking to be that team that here's all the structure, and then, okay, now what do you do with BYU because they're this record or rank this? So they're looking to be that team that says, wait a second, the structure actually is exclusive, and we want inclusion into it, and so we just played our way in.
Your quarterback is a guy that doesn't back down from a challenge, Taysom Hill, and he's a guy that has garnered a lot of this national attention over the summer for going to the Manning passing camp and being on preseason Heisman watch lists. Do you like the fact that he has this preseason Heisman hype? Because some coaches don't. Is this a good thing for you and your program?
It's only good from the standpoint of attention. It's okay because Taysom's mature enough. I would be more concerned if he was more likely to be make that affect his work ethic. And we've seen with other more notable quarterbacks how different places they go and different things they do could detract from the team. Whatever Taysom does is for our team. We have a 1,000-yard rusher at quarterback, a 1,000-yard rusher at running back, whole new string of receivers coming in, our whole offensive line coming back with tight ends. And to say then that we can't perform at a higher level, man, I think we'd all be disappointed if we don't. And so the pieces are in place.
Let's address a bigger issue. We're formulating our summer intramural flag football team again.
Nice.
We talked about Preston Hadley on our team. We might add Brian Logan, who only wants to play offense. We're looking for someone with heart, with great skill, and incredible effort. Do you know someone we could add to the team?
I do. They're currently playing on my team, so you'll have to wait a while.
Are you available?
Oh, yeah, you could play too.
So from what you just described, I'm not sure I fit the
Oh,
qualifications.
no, you fit it. You fit it, Coach.
We want to pick your recent grads too. Logan and Hadley, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We need a down lineman.
A
You're
down
game
lineman.
for that, aren't you?
So Russell Tialavea is working in our academic area right now. I'm not so sure I wouldn't be looking after him. And if you haven't seen him play, there might need to be a show on watching him play soccer.
Really?
Little known fact, but flag football, soccer, I'd be going after Russell Tialavea.
Okay.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Head coach Bronco Mendenhall with us on BYU Sports Nation. Coach, great to have you. Enjoy your snacks. Thank you for paying off my faith in that early delivery.
Thanks for starting with the big bag, exceeding expectations. Hopefully I and my team can do the same.
Bronco
That's
Mendenhall
11
on
wins
Media
right there.
Day.